All right, welcome back. Yes, where did it go? I was thought I was kidding when I said that I needed a haircut, and if it looked bad, I would have to buzz it all off. And here we are. Another victim of the corona hair syndrome. All right, guys. Bitcoin chopping sideways. I know, I just want to sit here and mourn the loss of that beautiful blonde hair. I don't even know what to do right now. But we're here for Bitcoin. This is Crypto Rolly, the crypto watch that never stops. Live technical analysis, price predictions, and trading. Bitcoin, choppy. We're still putting in a little bit lower high. Nothing dramatic. We're definitely not in a downtrend right now. We're still consolidating over great support levels on the macro. So we'll take a look at all of that. Smash the like, leave a comment. Nothing about the hair though. Hit the subscribe, tick the bell for notifications. Remember, these are my own ideas and opinions on the market, so please do your own research, trade at your own risk. I am not your financial advisor. All right, 96.28 current price on Bitcoin. Slight losses across the board. You have a slight gain on a couple, mostly sideways. Real volume 1.5 billion. So there's still enough volume. There have been like really choppy moves if you're a scalper and interested in doing that. Crypto fear and greed index right at a 50, right in the middle, neutral. And basically just means people are on the fence. They're just kind of waiting to see what's next. We have rallied pretty hard. We're at a critical 10K resistance. We are putting in a lower high on the macro. So if we're able to break that lower high structure, we could see a larger rally. We could see the greed index move up. Okay. Now, if we lose this, of course, we'll go down into the fearful zone. So taking a look at it, just, very simple, zoom out. You have this rising trend line on the daily. If you want to tighten it up just a little, we can maybe drag it up where it hits your wicks hit right there. And then I have this horizontal drawn around 10.5. So if you lose this uptrend right here coming in, I would say currently it's around 8,800. If you lose that level, you would definitely be at risk of putting in more downside action. Otherwise, on this daily trend, we are still in an uptrend. You still have higher lows, low, higher low, higher low, higher low, okay? But this is a lower high as it stands. Of course, if you zoom in, we can see a little closer on a 4-hour. You're still putting in like an uptrend right here. These wicks, each wick is a little higher. So maybe a potential ascending triangle formation forming here on the 4-hour. I want to see a daily close above 9,800. That's where we close this candle here. So above 9,800, we could, attempt to break above 10K and then 10.5. So on the macro, 10.5 needs to be beat. This trend needs to hold here. Going down to the 4-hour, if you take a look in here, you can see a potential ascending triangle forming. But, this 4-hour close here, faked me out. I actually took a long here, put a stop down low, and we did dump down here. Now, was that, that could have possibly been the CME gap being filled. So we'll take a look at the CME. We did have a little bit of a gap there. On the 4-hour, we kind of filled it. Technically, the gap opened up down here. So if you want to be super technical, we need to come back down to, that 9,400 area, which we didn't quite, if you let's look at it on the 1-hour, you can see a little bit closer there possibly. So you can see that gap right here wasn't totally filled, but on a 4-hour, there is no visible gap. And then if you go to a daily, there was never a visible gap to begin with. There was like an implied gap, so to say. See, you can see this visible one here. There was an implied gap. In general, these large visible gaps on the daily always get filled. But, there's arguments of, if it's a 4-hour gap, does it count? If it's a 1-hour gap, does it count? And for me, I feel like the higher the time frame, the more importance, the more weight it holds. A higher time frame, confirmation holds more weight than a lower time frame confirmation. So I'm not going to sit here and place all my bets on this tiny 1-hour gap being filled on the CME, okay? But so that move there could have, been the move to fill the gap. People front run it. They place their buys within the gap because they know that people will try to play that move, so they're prepared for that. So going over to the Bitstamp chart, we've been talking about this all week, how we had this downtrend resistance from the top, and we've been maintaining above it. We got that weekly candle close above that downtrend, so you did get that break. We have tested back down and bounced off of it. So, on the macro level, as we're consolidating here, I still feel we are bullish. Of course, if we lose some support levels, we can change that bias a bit. But as of now, nothing has changed in the past few days. So I'm not really changing my overall bias. I think we're still consolidating. I had drawn like a potential bull flag pennant type thing here. Or even a smaller pennant, and we're still within that pennant on the daily. You can see that downtrend holding there. So that's what I'm saying. On a daily, if you get a close above 9,800, we could get another leg up. Otherwise, you're still consolidating. I don't want to put too much weight on diagonals. If the daily closes beneath that, I'm not going to rush into a short. We're clearly still in an uptrend on the daily, so I'm better off looking for longs, waiting for a dip and buying the bounce. Taking a short right now to me is a little too risky, okay? Now, if we break this rising trend line and we lose, like 8,400 or that 8K 7,800 level, and clearly putting in lower highs, lower lows, then you want to be looking for shorts. So that's where I'm going right now. So let's just do a quick little breakdown, look at my indicators, and we'll go from there, okay? So let's look at our moving averages. Moving averages, we are above all critical moving averages on the weekly. We're even above this dark blue 50 simple. I tend to not have the 50 simple up, but I'm going to leave it up for the daily. Have something to look for there. But above the yellow 21 EMA macro bull market type indicator, we broke above it. We retested it and bounced as support. Still looking good. This was a nice weekly candle close. However, still on the macro lower highs. So on this weekly candle, we would love to close above that 10.5 and create a higher high. And you have the support here. The 50 simple is at 87.93. Your yellow 21 EMA is at 8,200. The 50 EMA on the weekly, 8,040. Your blue 10 simple crossed back above the 100 simple. The next will be the 50, the 21. You want to see the low moving averages like the 10, the 21 crossing above the higher time frames. So everything is, slowly but surely moving in the right direction. So I am macro bullish, but in the short term, I am slightly cautious, okay? Just because we're still, like I said, we're still putting in a lower high. If we are able to break this level, and we're down the road and we have done something that looks like maybe that, and then we're doing this and that, okay, you're going to be macro bullish 100%. Of course, there's going to be dips and corrections in between, but considering we haven't seen that higher high yet, you still need to be cautious about the bears, okay? Let's look at what else. I have the Bollinger Bands here. No, I don't want the Bollinger Bands today. I want Ichimoku Cloud. Just to go back to what we looked at on the weekly close. We did close inside the weekly Ichimoku Cloud, which was pretty bullish. So we closed inside. You have the support level at 95.43. The top of the Ichimoku Cloud is at 10,788. So that would be your resistance. But if we hit that resistance level, you would create a higher high, at least on a wick basis. You'd have to see where the weekly candle closes. You want to close above this weekly Ichimoku Cloud, excuse me, above that level there, and create, you know, some support there. And so support at this point, the cloud is at 11,319. You do have that CME gap at 11.8K to be aware of as well. So looking good inside of the cloud. Just want to see us march up a little higher, get above that, and then see if this can close up and form a green cloud. Let's look at our stochastics. The fast-moving stochastics hinting at a cross back to the upside. So that's good to see as well, because we did have that cross down, and I think that played out there. And now we're crossing back up. Good. And the slow-moving stoch never crossed down, stayed crossed up. Plenty of room to go. So on the macro trend, it looks like we're still bullish, in my opinion. All right. On the daily, your slow-moving stoch is still up. A slight hint, but still up. And then our fast-moving stoch crossed back up as well. So we're consolidating in this region. Your Ichimoku Cloud, we're above the blue conversion line. Support down at 9,091. Take a look at our moving averages real quick. We're above all moving averages on the daily. Your blue 10 simple support down at 92.97. So as long as we're above these levels, I'm still, you know, feeling good, but I have to be cautious that we could get a test back down, you know, if we're going to chop around sideways. So at this point, maybe we're looking for a breakout before we take too many aggressive trades. Or if you are going to take a trade, I would, you know, I wouldn't go high leverage. I would have a wide stop, you know, more of a directional bias type trade. Now on the daily, your dark blue 50 simple at 79.84. Your pink 200 simples at 8,050. If we stay at current level, we could see that cross above, which would be a golden cross on the 50 simple and the 200 simple. We already had our golden cross on the EMA, 50 EMA, 200 EMA here, and had a little bit of a rally. And then you're going to have that golden cross on the simple. And guys, the thing about these golden crosses, yes, they have been a bit of a counter trade type signal as of late, but you know, this is what happens. You see it on the lower time frames, you know, the 4 hour, you know, the 1 hour. You see when you start consolidating in a sideways consolidation that your moving averages start to like twist, and they kind of like just come together like that, and they become less reliable. And I think that's what's been happening during this consolidation, that we've really just been in a little bit of a sideways chop, even on a macro, so that these golden or death crosses haven't been great signals, because you end up, you know, going the opposite direction because you're still stuck in that sideways chop. However, eventually we will break out of the chop, and one of those golden or death cross signals will be the signal. You know what I mean? Like, yes, they have been fake outs, but eventually we're going to pick a direction out of this large consolidation we've been in. And so, you know, the thing you have to think about is, if we are macro bullish and we break this level and we march to 20K to 50K, this could be that golden cross signal. Okay? They haven't been great, but one of them will be the signal, is my point there. Okay, guys? I don't know if it's this one either, but, you know, we got faked out once, twice. The the third time could be the charm, okay? I don't know if it's exactly been 3, but you get my point here. All right, so you're still above all your moving averages on the daily. We talked about the Stokes. Let me see the Ichimoku clouds. Ichimoku clouds we talked about too. So let's go to the 12-hour. On the 12-hour, you have a green cloud of support on the Ichimoku. You're above your blue conversion line. Let's take a look at the moving averages. You're above all your moving averages here as well. Blue 10 simple does look like it wants to curl down though. Have to keep your eye on that. It's at 95.64. Yellow 21 is at 9400. You know, I would say 9400 should be support as well there. And our Stokes, the fast moving Stoke has crossed down, so be on alert there. The slow moving Stoke hinting but hasn't crossed down. The 12-hour slow moving Stoke is a great confirmation type signal, so keep your eye on that one. Hasn't crossed down yet. We are high though, okay? And you know, slight bearish divergence on the RSI. You can see how the RSI is getting lower here, and the price actually has been going higher. So, you know, are the bulls exhausted? That's what we're asking. Could get another dip back down for some liquidity, a quick little stop hunt. And if you get a large bounce, that could be, you know, the impulse move to continue higher possibly. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. On the 4-hour, your Stokes, slow moving Stokes are still to the downside, and you have just got to cross down on the 4-hour on the fast moving. So if I'm looking for a long, I would like to see this one cross up and then this one cross up. So I'm not excited about a long, and you know, like I said, I'm really only looking for longs, so I'm trying to stay patient here. Your 4-hour is above the 21 EMA, is at 9600. So just, you know, this candle here is, it's only 40 minutes into this 4-hour. Want to see this at least, you know, close above the yellow 21 EMA, and possibly you could get a bounce there. If you close below the yellow 21 EMA at 96.15, the orange 50 EMA at 94.64, so on and so forth. But if you can, you know, maintain that 21 EMA, get this to curl back up, and this one, possibly we could, you know, gain some strength to the upside. Let's just take a look real quick at the 1-hour. You know, I just look for the hints. Yours, you know, your 1-hour Stoke is down and down on the slow one as well. So yeah, I wouldn't take the trade so fast on a long right now, and we have been too bullish for me to want to take a short, and that's basically how it's going. 18 minutes. Cool. Let me finish up with maybe the Bitcoin dominance chart. We can look at that, see what's going on. You know, it's been sideways, so nothing too special, I'm sure. So the daily, we did see that on this recent rally for Bitcoin, the dominance rose, which means that Bitcoin outperformed altcoins. You would have made more money just holding Bitcoin than trying to move into altcoins. Of course, this trend can change. You have a bit of a, you know, a flag consolidation. However, if Bitcoin breaks bullish, breaks 10K, goes to 10.5, I am going to speculate that the Bitcoin dominance will also rise, meaning that it outperforms the altcoins. Now, if this dominance drops, that means the altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin, okay? So take a look at maybe, real quick, the major altcoins of interest. Your Link, you know, Link has been consolidating for over a month now. $3.87. I like it above $3.85. And even better would be a daily close above $3.88 right here. If we can get a daily close, let's say above $3.89, this could actually be the beginning of a little bit of a rally, considering how long it's consolidated and it's maintaining above all the daily moving averages. If I put this over here, you can see I've been watching this little consolidation. I took a trade the other day. I closed 50% in nice profit, and the other 50% stopped out at break even. I wasn't trying to be too aggressive because I do feel that Link, when it does break out, it could have a large breakout, retesting up here, just from the current level here, you can see that's about a 20% gain. So if you go on leverage, if you're using PHEMEX, I do have a PHEMEX referral down below. You can leverage trade Link, Tezos, Ethereum, Bitcoin, gold even. So, if you're interested in that, referral down there. But yeah, 20% to the test of that top. So that could be a great play there. So keep your eye on that. Maybe wait for the daily because it has been choppy. And if Bitcoin dumps, they're all going to dump. So just something to be watching out for. Your daily Stokes still up high on the fast moving, no cross down. Your slow moving crossed up. So, potential here, potential. I've been waiting for this since back here. So if I can get this one, I'll be a happy man. Tezos actually broke out a little nicer. You can see it was consolidating here for quite some time. Had a nice breakout. Your daily Stokes on the fast moving, hinting at a cross down. But you do have the cross up still on the slow moving Stokes. Let's look at the moving averages there. Moving averages, you're above all your moving averages here as well. You do have this price range that will act as resistance, potentially lower highs. But if you can break this price range here, you're going to march up, and you have plenty of room to go here as well to test the highs. That little peak there is a 15% rise. This peak here is about 37%. So if Bitcoin can break bullish, you're going to see a lot of opportunity in the altcoins. Ethereum, this will be the last one, I would say has a resistance level at 215 about. You have that resistance level there, and you can see it came up and got rejected and like exactly at that level there. So we'll have to see where this daily candle closes as well. If it can close above 215, I think you could get a breakout, test maybe this peak here, current price to there. That's about 15%, and the top is about 35% there. All right, so that was where the top of the pandemic happened. Bitcoin has retraced to the top of its pandemic sell-off, pretty much, almost there. And like I said, it outperformed the altcoins. So the altcoins are a bit of a step behind. So if Bitcoin can break the level that it was at before the pandemic, which would be its 10.5, the altcoins should at least catch up to that point of where we sold off before the pandemic. So Bitcoin breaks that level, the altcoins should catch up, one step behind. So you can actually use that to your advantage too, though. You don't necessarily have to jump into altcoins immediately. You can wait to see how Bitcoin does. Since Bitcoin is the leader, if Bitcoin moves, the rest of them should follow. They might not follow as strongly, but they should follow to some degree, right? All right, that's enough for me, guys, today. Thanks for watching. This hair, I can't even, I'm just going to have to get used to it. There's still some blonde, still there. You can see it. I don't know what to do. I don't really want to just bleach this. I really look like Slim Shady. I might just let it grow out some more and then buzz it again. I don't have a lot of options over here in California. Our salons and barbers are still shut down. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Maybe I'll be wearing hats, or maybe I'll just, I'll get used to this. All right. I look like Sinead O'Connor. Throwback, if any of y'all know who that is. It's probably like my mom's favorite singer from the 80s, 90s, or whenever it was. All right, guys, enough. I will see you next time. Have a great day.